Greetings everyone, Eric here, and welcome back to another product review. I know it's been a little while, so let's get into this one. The product that I'm going to review to you, I cannot speak, is this little guy. The PNBOO, I'm guessing that's how you say it, LED light pad. Now what is this? If you've ever seen a light box, which is those big boxes about that thick and they're kind of bigger, and they have lights inside, usually a bulb, and you'd use that for tracing. So what you would do is, let's say as a comic artist, you do all your pencils on a piece of paper, but it's not quite the best paper. It's, you know, it's a little flimsier, and you want to ink it, but you'd rather ink it on a much sturdier paper. Well, sometimes what some artists would do, especially in the digital age, is simply scan them, maybe convert them to blue, and then print them in blue on the bigger paper, and then ink it, and then just remove the blue later. But what a lot of artists like to do also is what they do is they trace over their pencils. They ink on the other piece of paper by tracing over, and what it does is it shines a light through from behind the paper, and thus allows you to see the pencils on the new piece of paper on top. And so that's what this thing is. I was given two of these actually. This is the smaller one. I believe this is A4 sheet size, which is about standard size, like 8.5 by 11, or even bigger than that actually, I think is A4 size. I also have a much bigger one, which is sitting over there, which is A3 size, which is actually really big. And so if you were doing comic books on 11 by 17 sheets of paper, that would work really well. So the only difference between the two is the size. Product-wise, they're exactly the same. They have the same functionality, and they both do the same thing. Now, I've had some issues trying to actually record because these are light boxes. They give off light, meaning I couldn't have the camera facing the light box to show you what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to me showing you, I'm going to be showing you what's in the box. Then I'm going to show you the best attempt I was able to do. I was able to get the camera at kind of a good angle so you could still see when the light was on. You could still see the artwork that was on the page. When I put the paper over top of it, you can really see it because it kind of darkens things a little bit. So I'll be cutting over that at the end. And so first, I'm going to show you what's actually in the box. So let's cut over to that. Right, so I have these two stacked on top of each other so you can see the difference in size between the two pads. Obviously the big one is the A3. Here's some of the stuff you get in it. You get some nice little tracing paper for each size, which I thought was really cool of them to provide. And of course they provide the little drawing gloves. You know, because I don't have a lot of those that they keep giving me with every product they give me. Anyway, let's open the box up. So, we open her up and, oh, we have the tablet. The things that come inside are, of course, the power supply, which is just a nice little one that you plug into the wall. Very low profile, very easy to use, and very small. We have the packaging that they gave it, and it's all bubbled up and bubble wrapped for protection. Then we have the little pamphlet, little manual, gives you some product information that you might need for the actual physical device and stuff like that. Now let's open this thing, because this was kind of a pain in the butt to open, so fast forwarding! Yay! And now we pull off the protection, and there she is. She's quite a beauty. I love it. I love the surface. It looks so shiny. It just looks so clean. There's not a whole lot of stuff. Look how thin this thing is. That's the actual thickness of the light pad. On the back, it looks really nice. It's got little rubber dots so it doesn't slip on any surface that you might put it on. And obviously some more product information. Over here, you have the actual part where you put the power in, which is that little spot right there. Lovely. And the buttons to turn it on and to turn the brightness up and down. Lovely. Now I'm going to attempt to show you in progress. So here I'm quickly drawing some squares with a circle inside, with a line inside. Now this is just to give you something to look at when I turn it on. Now just be a warning, when I turn it on, it's going to be bright as heck. And it's going to be hard to see, but I assure you when it's in person, you can see it much better. So let's actually turn this bright box on and see how it looks. Holy lights! Now you can faintly see what I'm talking about here. But thankfully, when you actually go to use it, it looks so much better. Especially when you put a piece of paper, blindness. When you put a piece of paper over it, now you can see it much better. It looks so much better. You can actually see through it very easily and very clearly. It looks so much better in person, so this camera is just not capturing just how good it looks. And I assure you of that. And just to give you a quick little sample, I'm going to ink over it. So like right here, I'm just going to ink, just to let you see the difference between like how you can see it when you're inking it, which as you can see looks very clear. And then I'm also going to turn the light off so you can see how it looks when you're finished working, so you can actually check your material. Very easy, it just turns off and boom, you can easily see what you've done. This light bulb box works amazingly well, and I absolutely love it. It's really one of those things where you have to use it in person to really appreciate it. And here I'm just going to put some pieces of paper over it. Now right now it's just 2 pieces of paper. Here's a third one. You can still see through it, which is actually very impressive. And then by the time you get to the 4th one, you really can't see through. So try to limit it down to just the 3 pieces of paper. The one at the bottom, and then you can have up to 2 more on top of it. Alright, so my final thoughts on this is I think these are really awesome. Like I mentioned, I believe it uses nice little LEDs, which is actually what I'm using on my light in my room. They're really cool. They're really bright, as you can tell. And believe me, they seem much brighter when you're actually here. Physically in the room seeing them. They work beautifully. I know it was hard to see that section when I actually showed you, but trust me, it works beautifully even with blue pencil. So pick this up if you really want to use it. They're not that expensive. I'll leave links in the description to where you guys can go check them out on Amazon.com. And yeah, just check these things out. They're really cool. So if you're trying to get into light boxing for inking, so that way, yes, it uses up a little bit more paper, but it gives you a much cleaner effect because now you don't have to erase any of the pencil lines. You don't have to worry about it later on in Photoshop or in Manga Studio. You can just ink over it. Bam, done. So yeah, check them out. I hope you guys like this video, and comment on any other videos you would like to see, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.